Alright guys, so we're gonna go over this little trade I took right now. Um, Put me at, I don't even know what I was doing. I won't even lie. I was just trading randomly. Um, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just gonna pull up everything. I was gone for like a week. Came back. Not proud of it. I'm not really proud of it. Um, but we're just gonna go over this. We're gonna learn. Lately, I've been experimenting with, since I've been using order flow, I've been experimenting with the volume profile, stacked imbalances, aggression, the footprint, and then of course with ICT concepts. But I'm gonna go over the bias because today I was a little bit more bearish than bullish. Even though ES is like pushing above, better break, these highs, NQs. Disrespecting this at 10 a.m. Once we close, and then on the hourly too, we just pushed down at 9 a.m. and we never really recovered. And once we made this inverse, I was more bearish, and then waited for the retracement on the 5 minute. So that's basically really it. We're gonna go over this real quick. We're gonna go back to the executions you can see here. So if we go to like the 1 minute, go back to the 15-second first trade. Um, Take shorts, stopped out. Trying to target this low. Market never reaches it. We go break even pretty soon. Go for buys here, targeting the 15-minute fair value gap. We get stopped out, and then the market pushes up. We take longs again. This time, really, the objective was the 930 highs, these relative equal highs. We had a nice little push. Market came down, disrespected it. We formed a 1 minute fair value gap, never really held it, and I was having high expectation that like if we're gonna push up, break above it, probably gonna reach this high, and then these relative equal highs, but we never had that. And then form that 1 minute inversion fair value gap. Use that to target these lows, and we did. We did. Market we sold off, bought back majority of the position because again we hit break even. We entered a little bit late. That's the thing. We didn't hold this trade all the way down to these nice low resistance liquidity lows. All this right here, and then sold again, stopped out, sold more, and then we got stopped out, sold again, stopped out, sold again, stopped out, and then we sold, and we finally got that final push. So again, today we're just really short bias, and let's go over the confluences. So again, the 30-minute PD array inversed, 4 hour early up inversed, targeting these lows, which I have marked out on the 15, which is these nice lows right here. Market failed, reached back up into here, and then we also reached up into this fairly up here, right there. Never reached up into it, unfortunately. Now on the 5 minute, we had a 5 minute fairly up inversed right there later on, and then on the 1 minute, 1 minute civvy, pretty much held, and then this was another key fairly up right around here, this one right here. So it took me multiple attempts to eventually reach my draw on liquidity. So there, these are all the trades we took. This one flopped. This one never really reached the objective. This one we never really held it. And then this one also we never really held it. And then eventually we entered again over here, I believe. Right on here, and then it melted right to the draw on liquidity, and it also reached up into that daily PD area with these nice relative equal lows, which we are targeting now. And yeah, that's pretty much really it. Took me almost 6 attempts of just shorting and shorting and shorting and shorting and shorting and shorting to then eventually hit the objective. So the delivery wasn't the best in terms of me, and then of course my managing the position wasn't the best. But as long as you have the bias correct and you have the right draw and liquidity, you'll probably reach the objective as long as you manage the trade too and you take the most ideal setups. And again too, we're also like using RTH volume profile. We're hitting value area high, unable to break above it. Once we saw the inversion with the value area high aligned, I was like, all right, yeah, it's perfect. And then we're also, I believe, hitting like overnight point of control here. Boom, market failed. The buyers were failing, sellers were taking control. RTH, value area high, probably gonna melt, target these lows, break below those, and then see, like we're gonna probably reach the other area of the auction or the opposing range, and then that's pretty much really it. And that was the trade. So you can see that there. So many trades, bro. Majority of them were shorts. Took short, long, long, short, 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 short. Took two longs again, because again, trying to target those 930 relative equal highs before we move, relative equal highs before we move lower. But never really happened again. These highs are stacked up here too, so it just looked really nice, really promising. But once we had the delivery lower, and then we started to reach back up into that 4-hour inversion, and slowly closer to reaching that 15-minute inversion, it just looked like we are probably gonna melt. Even though we never really reached up into it, that's why I went break even, because I was expecting it to like actually melt. And if we were gonna hold this, probably most likely we're not gonna want to go below the 50% or the consequent encroachment, to then continue up higher. Just trying to have that institutional order flow into drills and just keep going up. But yeah, then the market just dumped, and then we got that final trade, and that's pretty much really it. I'm gonna continue to see and experiment and continue to try to get a better feel for my order flow. So I have been taking notes, my trading notes, and I will make a video on what I could have done better throughout the month of June, July, and just the summer in general. So it's pretty much really it.